Conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about field data types, and we have discussed what exactly a data type and what it indicates. So what are the various data types that we have in Salesforce? We have listed out, and there we have discussed Salesforce provides total 25 data types, which can be used to indicate what type of data the field can hold inside this. So upon creating the field in the object, to specify what type of data the field can hold, we are using the help of these data types. There we have identified total 25. Out of 25 data types, 5 data types are related to relationship, that is a future topic. One data type is related to formula, that is also upcoming topic. And then we have 19 common data types are available, which we are using regularly in our object creations and the fields creations in the implementation. Now, so let's see what exactly is each data type indicates, what is the significance of each data type, what type of data that field should store, and then what properties are available for each data type and what is the use of each property. We'll see one by one with the practical. Okay, now in the previous session, we have listed out 19 common data types that we are using upon creating the objects and the fields. And today we'll see each and every data type one by one. Now, so let's start with text data type first. What exactly it is, what kind of properties that we have, and what type of data this data type should allow us to store inside the field, we'll see one by one. Then we'll move forward to remaining data types one by one. Okay, now, for example, come to a small scenario. For example, I'm creating a custom object with the name customer to store my customers' data. Because for my organization, so many customers are visiting every day who wants to buy some products and who are utilizing our services also. So to store all my customers' data, I would like to have a customer object. I would like to have a customer object. Now, so now tell me, whenever we are creating a new object in Salesforce, what Salesforce will provide as a step one, Salesforce will create a table by default. So what will be the table name?
Customer
What is the table name? Customer underscore underscore.
C.
As a step one, Salesforce will create a table with the name customer underscore underscore C. Because in Salesforce, each custom object name will be always supposed to fixing with underscore underscore C. Now this underscore underscore C represents it's a custom which has been created by the developer or administrator, which can be customizable and which can be removable also if it is no longer needed in future. Now, Salesforce will create a custom object with the name customer underscore underscore C. Now tell me in this customer object, how many fields it will provide by default? 5 fields. By default, Salesforce is providing 5 fields. That means 5 columns. Now, what are those 5 columns? ID field, name field, owner field, created by, last modified by. 5 fields will be given by Salesforce by default. Okay, Salesforce provides 5 fields. Now, these are the 5 fields here. For example, so this is my customer object. Inside this object, Salesforce is providing 5 fields. This is the customer object. Now inside this object, it is providing this of 5 fields by default, like the ID, name, owner, created by, last modified by. Right. Next, once the table is ready to manage the data inside the table, okay, to manage the data inside the table, that means to create some new records, to modify the existing records, to remove the existing records, and to restore the deleted records, or to view the records, whatever the user interfaces are required, those user interfaces will be given by Salesforce in the form of tab. As a step two, Salesforce is providing a tab where tab name will be always in plural format. Already we know. In our previous sessions, we have discussed here. Salesforce will provide a tab also. Tab provides various graphical user interfaces which can be used to manage the records inside this associated object. That means inside this table, if you want to create some record or to update the record, to delete the record, to view the record, to restore the records, then whatever the screens, whatever the user interfaces are required, those user interfaces will be given by Salesforce in the form of a tab. So the tab name will be always in plural format. My object name is singular format, that means customer. My tab name will be in plural format. Why Salesforce is following this kind of notation that already we have discussed in our previous sessions also. Okay, now, and along with that, it provides business logic also. So now in this case, let's see. Whenever we are creating a new custom object in Salesforce, it provides a 5 standard fields. So these are the 5 columns will be given by Salesforce by default, which are fixed for this every object. Now ID field, name, owner, created by, last modified by. These 5 fields are fixed for all the objects which cannot be removable. These are ready-made fields given by Salesforce. These fields we can't remove from the object. These fields are always fixed. Okay, now in this case, here we are having this user interface. In this user interface, why I have placed only 2 text boxes here? Why? Because upon creating a new record inside the table, ID will be generating with Salesforce. We no need to pass the ID. Created by also generating with Salesforce. We no need to pass. Last modified by also generating with Salesforce. We no need to pass. So these 3 values will be generating with Salesforce so that we no need to pass these values. So now here in this case over here, so now for this fields, we no need to supply the value. These values are going to be generating with Salesforce automatically by default over here. Now, let's see in this case here. Just a minute, somebody's facing issue. Now, so now here these 3 values will be generating the Salesforce by default. So we don't have any text boxes. Now this value will be, we are going to provide, so name value, owner value also we are going to provide here. Okay, now let's see. Now in this case, now tell me, whenever I'm creating a new custom object, this is the default structure will be giving the Salesforce. It provides the table with the 5 standard fields. It provides the user interfaces. It provides business logic also. Okay, fine. Now tell me to store the customer's data, really these 5 columns are enough for you? No. No. Because not only storing the name and the owner name, I want to store some more data related to my customer. Like I want to store the customer's contact number, email ID also, is a city name also, is a company name also, is a designation also, is a revenue also, like that is the age also, date of birth also, gender also, like that I would like to store some more data, but we don't have the columns inside this table. But we don't have the columns inside this table. Now in this case, I would like to add some more columns. Whenever if we want to add a column, then in that column we need to indicate what type of data that column can store. That column can store only phone number values, or email ID values, or date of birth values, or gender values, or what? What type of data the column can store to indicate that we are using the help of this data types. Okay. Now let's see the first data type, text data type, what exactly it indicates here. Now, what is the use of this text data type? Now, let me explain. Now, this is the object structure. Now, let me explain the concept. Now, so now this is the object structure that we have. Today, my client asked me to add one more field to store the customer's city name. To which city he is associated. We need to store city name. So I'm adding a column over here. I'm adding a column with the name city name. I'm adding a column city name. Now this is a custom field, right? Salesforce will add this underscore C by default. Now tell me in this city name field, what type of data you are going to store? Is it a numerical data or text data or what? Text data. So that means alphanumerical values here I would like to store. Alphanumerical means what? Text type. So that we are using the help of the data type called as text. So upon creating this field inside the object, I'm selecting the data type as a text. Then what do you mean by this text data type? What it indicates? Basically, text data type allows us to store alphanumerical values inside the field. It allows us to store alphanumerical values inside the field along with the special characters also. Along with the special characters also depends upon your requirement. It may be hash, at the rate, comma, hyphen, dot, like that. Anything we can able to store. All the special characters which are available in your system's keyboard, everything will be acceptable, including alphanumerical values. Alphanumerical means what? Alphabetical characters, numerical numbers, everything here. So text data type allows us to store both alphanumerical values and the special characters up to maximum of 255 characters, not more than that. That is the restriction that we have in Salesforce. So text data type allows us to store maximum of 255 characters of content inside the field, which includes alphanumerical values along with special characters. Upon storing some city name, suppose for example, if I'm giving that city name over here, in the city name, if you're giving a space, that space also counting as one character internally by default. Please remember the point. Okay, now, so in this case, this particular data type allows us to store maximum of 255 characters of content, including alphanumerical values along with special characters also inside it. Okay, now here in this case, let's see. Whenever we are creating a field by selecting the data type as a text, immediately it will add a column to the database table. Once the column has been added, immediately it will be placing one text box on the screen also. That means on the user interface, it is providing one text box automatically by Salesforce. Enter city name. Now it is placing one text box automatically by default here. For example, this is the text box. It will place one text box on the screen automatically by default here. You no need to design the screen. That's what I told you in the previous session also. Whenever we are creating an object, Salesforce provides the table, it provides the tab, it provides the business logic. In future, if you're adding any column to the table, if you're adding any field, then column will be adding to the table Salesforce by default. It will prepare the user interface. It will prepare the business logic also by default. So you no need to do anything. You no need to prepare the user interface. You no need to write any business logic. Everything will be done by Salesforce within some fraction of seconds. So you don't need to take care of anything. Just we can keep on add the fields, everything will be done by Salesforce by default. That is the flexibility that we have in Salesforce whenever we are implementing the business logics. Okay, now, so now in this case, whenever we are going to be creating the field of type text, there are some properties. Text data type contains some properties here. Then what properties are available for this text data type? Let me list out one by one here. I will give the description of each and every property also for text data type. For the remaining data types, just I will give the property names. I won't give the description because same will be repeating in all the data types as well. Okay, now let me give the definition and let me give the note points of this text data type. Text data type allows us to store maximum of 255 characters of content inside the field, which includes both alphanumerical values along with the special characters also. Special characters also. Now, let's see the properties. What are the various of properties that we have? Now, let me explain. The first property is field label. First property is field label. What do you mean by this field label? Now, let me explain. See, suppose for example, today I'm adding a field inside my customer object with the name city name. Whenever we are adding a field, immediately it will be placing one text box on the screen also. Now, before this text box, for example, if it is not giving any label, then how the people can understand what data we have to enter in this text box? You want me to enter my phone number, email ID, my age, my city name, or my country name, my company name, or what? What data you want me to enter? So for that one, to give the indication to the people, boss, in this text box, please enter your city name to which you are associated. To indicate that we are giving a label. To specify what label you would like to show on the screen, we are using the help of the property called as field label property. So field label property is used to indicate the label or the static text which should be visible on the user interface. Clear? Now, this is used to specify the label or static text to be visible on the user interface. And the second property is field name or API name. Field name or API name. Then what do you mean by this field name or API name property? Now let me explain. So basically, the field name or API name property is indicating unique name of the field. Unique name means what here? As of now, we have specified the field label. Now, this data, whatever the data that I'm going to enter inside the text box, this data will store in which column? Inside this city name underscore underscore C. So, for this column, whatever the name that you have given, this is nothing but field name. Field name is nothing but the actual column name inside the database table. So field name means actual column name inside the database table. Field name is nothing but user interface name. That means this is only for the visibility. Here we can give any name, whatever you want. But whatever the database column names are available, these are very, very important over here. Always you have to remember them. Okay? Now, so the field name is nothing but the actual column name inside the database. Now, it represents the actual column name inside the database table. Next one, description property. Okay, description property. What do you mean by this description property? Basically, description property is used to give some comments. Whenever we are adding some new field to the object, then why you are adding the field? What is the purpose of this field? What data you are going to store in this field? To give some comments, to give some information about the field, we are using the help of the property description. But entering description is optional. If you want, we can enter. If you don't want, leave it. No problem here. Okay. Now, to specify the description are comments about the field. Next property is help text property. Then what do you mean by this help text property? What it indicates? Now let me explain. Suppose, for example, come to a small scenario. So now currently I'm using this Notepad++ editor to prepare this content. When you go to this Notepad++ editor, on the top, we are having a menu bar. We are having a menu bar. Below that menu bar, we have a toolbar. This is called as toolbar. This is the menu bar. And below the toolbar, we have a tab bar. Is a tab bar. So these are the three options are available. We have menu bar and then toolbar and then tab bar. Now let's see. When we go to this toolbar, we are having so many icons are available. These icons are nothing but what shortcut options here. Shortcut options. Now, so in this case, so many icons are available, but I don't know what exactly each icon indicates. Then in this case, how do we know that? Just to place the mouse pointer on this particular icon over here. When you place the mouse pointer, it is giving that message, a small message. That means an online help, like as new. This is what open. And then save all, close, close all, print, cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, find, replace. Like that, here we are having because so many menus or so many tools are available. These are called as a tool buttons. Now, each tool button is used to perform a particular action. So if you want to know some information about that particular icon, place the mouse pointer on that, it will be giving some message. This message is called as tooltip text message. This is called as tooltip text message. This is called as tooltip text message in general. Now, in Salesforce, this tooltip text message will be called as help text message. That means what? Once the field has been created, the field will be visible to you on the user interface. On that field, that means on the text box, once you place the mouse pointer information, once you place the mouse pointer, if you want to show some information to the people, if you want to give some online help, then we can use the help of this help text property. So help text property is used to provide tooltip text information or online help information to the people. So just by placing the mouse pointer on that, it will show that information to you. That's what we are using help text property. specify the tooltip text information, online help information to the user. Okay, next. Next property is length property. What do you mean by this length property? Now let me explain. So whenever I'm creating a normal text field, this text field will be containing how many characters maximum? 255 characters. But now tell me, do we have any city name which is having 255 characters? No, hardly 50 characters, that is enough. 20 characters, 30 characters, maximum 50 characters we can say. In that case, I want to inform to Salesforce, boss, don't allow that much of lengthy content. Please accept only 20 characters content inside that, including special characters, including spaces also here. So don't allow more than 20 characters. So please restrict that. To indicate how many number of characters to be allowed inside the field, we are using the help of a property called as length property. Length property is used to restrict the number of characters to be allowed inside the field. To restrict the number of characters to be allowed inside the field. Clear? Next. Next one, required checkbox. What do you mean by this required checkbox? What did you understood with this mean? Required checkbox. That means what? If you are selecting the checkbox upon creating this field, what will happen? It will mark that field as required. That means whenever I'm creating a new customer record, my client said that please make this city name as mandatory, compulsorily here. Compulsorily, user has to enter the city name. So mark that field as mandatory. So I'm selecting required checkbox. Whenever I'm selecting required checkbox, while creating the field, it will add one star symbol before the text box to indicate this field is not optional, it's a mandatory field here to indicate that we are using required checkbox. Clear? Now, in this case, in the interview point of view, they will raise a question. So, how many ways are available in Salesforce to make a field required? In order to mark a field as mandatory, how many ways are available in Salesforce? It's a common question. Salesforce provides 5 ways to make a field required. Salesforce provides 5 ways to make a field required. First one, by using this option, just now we have discussed. That means upon creating a field, we can select this checkbox required to make that field mandatory here. Second one, by using the help of a feature called as page layout customization. That is upcoming topics over here. After the fields creation, next we'll move forward to page layouts. Through the page layout customization also, we can make a field required. Third one, validation rules. With the help of validation rules also, we can make this a field mandatory. Fourth one, by using Apex triggers. As part of Salesforce development, through by using Apex programming, also we can make this a field required with the help of triggers feature. And the last one, Visual Force programming. As part of development, through Visual Force pages also we can make this a field required. These are the 5 ways. To mark that field mandatory in Salesforce, we have 5 ways. First one, upon creating the field, we can select required checkbox. Second one, we can go with the help of page layout customization. Third one, by using validation rules. Fourth one, by using the help of Apex triggers. Last one, by using Visual Force programming. These are the 5 ways. Clear? Now, make a note of this property. This property will make the field required. Now, Salesforce provides the below 5 ways to make a field required. First one, by using required checkbox upon creating a field. Second one by using page layout customizations. Third one by using validation rules. Fourth one by using Apex triggers. Fifth one by using Visual Force program. These are the 5 ways are available to make a field required in Salesforce. All these ways we are going to discuss as part of our upcoming sessions. In the next one, unique checkbox. Unique checkbox. What do you mean by this unique checkbox? What did you understood with this name? Upon creating the field, if I'm selecting unique checkbox means what? Specific one means unique means what? Generally, no duplicates. Okay, no duplicates, right? In this case here, always we need to pass different values. For example, I'm creating one customer record with the name some Hyderabad. Suppose if I'm creating one more customer record with the same city name Hyderabad, it won't allow this record because we made this a field as unique. Okay, we made this a field as unique, so this column doesn't accept duplicate elements. When we try to create some new record with same duplicate value, it won't accept the record. It will show the error message duplicates has been found, so record cannot be inserted here. Okay, now so in order to make this column to be accepting only unique values, we can go with the help of okay unique checkbox. Now this property will make the field value always unique. That is, it won't accept the duplicate values. Next, the last property is external ID checkbox. Basically, this property we are using upon doing integration of Salesforce with third-party systems. Whenever you are integrating your Salesforce account with any third-party systems, with a Java application, with a .NET application, with SAP application, with the banking systems, then we are using the help of this external ID checkbox, which is used to store the external system record ID in our Salesforce object. That means the third-party system's record ID to store into a Salesforce object, we are using this external ID checkbox. Now, this property is used to store the external system record ID inside the field. These are the various properties are available as part of this text data type. So text data type contains total 8 properties. First one field label, second one field name, third one description, fourth one help text, fifth one length property, sixth one required, seventh one unique, eighth one external ID checkbox. These are 8 properties are available here. Clear? Now. Now let me move forward to some more data types one by one. Now let me give you one most important point in this case. So as part of this text data type, we have discussed some set of properties. From these properties, whatever the first 4 properties we have discussed. Whatever the first 4 properties we have discussed, like the field label, field name, description, help text. These 4 properties are common for all the 25 data types that we have in Salesforce. In Salesforce, whatever the 25 data types are available, for all the 25 data types, these first 4 properties are fixed. These are common. Along with that, each data type will be having its own additional properties over here. Okay? Understood the concept now? Now let's see. The second one here. Second one, text area. What do you mean by this text area data type? Now let me explain. Suppose, for example, today my client asked me to create one more column inside this customer table to store the address of a customer. To store the address of the customer, he asked me to add one more column. He asked me to add one more column with the name address. So upon creating this field, I'm selecting the data type as text area. So now what do you mean by this text area data type? What it will do? So basically, text area data type also will allow us to store alphanumerical values of content along with the special characters up to 253 characters. Same like as text data type, but there is a small change. Now, what is the change? Now, let me explain. In look and feel wise, it will be different. How? Let's see. Here we are having this. Enter address. Now, whenever it is representing that field on the screen, it will place one text area control. It will place one text area control here. Now, because address we are entering in multiple lines. Now, so we can enter that flat number, apartment name, landmark also, city name, state name, country name, postal code. Like that, we can enter the data in multiple lines over here. So to enter the data in multiple lines, it is providing text area control. This is the look and feel difference. If it is a text data type, it will show normal text box to enter the data only in one line. But here text area data type allows us to enter the data in multiple lines of content also, but the restrictions are same here also. That means here also same 255 characters of length, but the speciality is we can enter the data in multiple lines. If we want to give some short description about a customer also, if we want to give a short description about a particular product also, then we can use the help of text area. So text area data type allows us to store maximum of 255 characters of content, which allows us to store the data in multiple lines also, which includes alphanumerical values along with special characters as well. Okay, understood the concept over here? Now, so in this case, depends upon the data type on the screen appearance will be changing automatically. So based on the data you are going to store, you have to decide which data type is suitable. Text type, text area, email, phone, what it will be suitable. You need to decide that here. Okay, that's what I'm giving complete information here. Now, it allows us to store maximum of 255 characters of content inside the field along with the special characters also. We can store the data in multiple lines. We can store the data in multiple lines. Now let's see the properties. First four properties are common. That means a field label, field name, description, help text. These first four properties are common here. Next, the fifth property is length property. Why? Whenever I'm going to be entering the address, I want to give that intimation to the people, boss, don't enter lengthy address, please enter the address which contains maximum of 100 characters. Or else we can give 150 characters. Or else we can give 200 characters, depends upon the requirement here. I want to restrict the number of characters to be allowed inside the field. I don't want 255 characters of lengthy address, I want shortest address over here. Okay, now. So in this case, whenever if you want to store this kind of data, we can use the help of this text area. We can choose this length property. And the sixth property is required checkbox, which is used to mark that field as mandatory here. Okay, to specify whether this field is a required field or optional field to indicate that we are using required checkbox. These are the 6 properties are available for this text area data type. Clear? Next. Next one, text area long. So what do you mean by this text area long data type? What it indicates? Now let me explain. Now tell me what did you understood with this name? As of now, we know text area. What is text area long? The description is there in the name itself. Hmm. Text area data type allows how many characters? 255. But in some cases, I want to store one paragraph of content, multiple paragraph of content. I
Extension of
want to
text
store a
area.
very big lengthy story also. I want to type a big story. Now, in that case, to store some more number of characters inside the field, we are using the help of text area long data type, which allows us to enter 1,31,072 characters of content inside this. 1,31,072 characters of content inside this here. That means to store more number of characters inside the text area field, we are using text area long, which allows us to enter maximum of 1,31,072 characters of content. So now here also we can write okay, alphanumerical values along with the special characters also, same like a 60 area, but it is having the more extension capacity here. Okay, now let's see. This data type allows us to store maximum of 1,31,072 characters of content inside the field, which includes both alphanumerical values along with the special characters. Now, the properties are same. Here also we are having same properties. And then here first 4 properties are common as usual. Length properties available. Because it is giving the length of 1,31,072 characters. But I don't want that much of lengthy. I want 10,000 characters enough. So to restrict the number of characters, we are using length property. And the next property is number of lines visible. Number of lines visible. Then what do you mean by number of lines visible property? What it indicates? Hmm. Blank lines will be? No, not like that. For example, assume that. Now, if it is assumed that this is the text area long. Now, I have given restriction to 10,000 characters. Now, 10,000 characters. Now, in this case, in each row, I'm typing 100 characters. Total, how many lines of content we can write over here? 100 lines of content. Line 100,
100
first
lines.
line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line, sixth line, seventh line, like that up to 100 lines. If I'm typing this content like this, it will occupy the whole space on your browser. In that case, I want to inform to the Salesforce boss, please don't show all the 100 lines of content at a time. Please show only 5 lines of content. Remaining content the people can see by using scroll bar. Okay, now in this case here, it will be adding one scroll bar automatically here. Now it is placing a bar. It is placing a bar over here. Now this bar will be keep on moving from top to bottom, so we can able to see the remaining lines of content also. So in this case, to indicate that here, okay, to indicate that we are using the help of this property. Okay. Now, so how many number of lines of content you would like to show? You want to show 5 lines of content or 10 lines of content, 20 lines of content, we can specify. So after that remaining content will be not visible directly, we can use the scroll bar to see the remaining lines of content over here. Okay, that means what? I want to occupy less space on the browser. I want to store more content inside that. So at a time we can't see the everything. I would like to see by using scroll bar option. For that reason, we are using this property. Okay. Now, these are the various properties are available for text area long control. Next, text area rich control. What do you mean by text area rich control? Text area rich means what? Any guess? Anyone? Right? Hmm. Now, let me show you. For example, I'm logging to my Gmail account. Let me log into my Gmail account now. Today, I want to send one email notification to my friend or my colleague also, or to a company also to apply for a job. So I will go to the compose. So when I click on compose option here, it is providing a screen to enter some content in the subject and to address attachments and everything to send the email notification to the required people. So in this case, here we are entering the to address and the subject. And then along with that, here we are having a small control to enter the email content. We have a control. This control is called as text area rich control. This is called as text area rich control. So what do you mean by text area rich control? Inside the text area rich control, here also we can able to enter the content over here. How many characters? Same. 1,31,072 characters of content we can able to write. Once the content has been getting prepared, now for this content we can apply some makeup also. That means I would like to make this content look like attractive. I want to apply my own font, style, size, colors, alignments, bullet formats. I want to include some images, pictures, hyperlinks, all these things I would like to do that. So if you want such kind of functionality inside your content, then we have to go with the help of text area rich control. This is also same like as text area long. Text area long control will be same like as normal notepad. White background, black text. That's it. No font, no style, no color, no images, nothing. But text area rich control will be giving the flexibility that it provides a formatting toolbar. This is called as formatting toolbar. This is called as the formatting toolbar. In order to format the content, to make the content look like rich, whatever the functionalities are required, all are available over here. This is called as formatting toolbar. By using this toolbar, we can able to do some makeup for the content and we can make our content look like rich. That means it will look like attractive. So for that reason, if you want such kind of functionalities, then we can go with the text area rich control. Okay? Now, let's see. This data type allows us to store maximum of 1,31,072 characters of content inside the field, which includes both alphanumerical and special characters. Now, it provides a formatting toolbar which can be used to make the content look like attractive. That is, we can apply our own font, color, size, alignment, images, pictures, hyperlinks, etc. We can able to include all these things with the help of this formatting toolbar. Okay. Now, next one, the properties. Now here we are having the properties over here. The properties wise, both are same. No change at all. Okay. Here also the first four properties are common, and we have length property to restrict the number of characters to be allowed, and then we have number of lines visible, how many lines of content to be visible at a time, that we can indicate over here. Clear? Next. Next data type is checkbox data type. After the completion of this topic, I will be giving requirement document to you. Okay, so topic is very, very important. Don't miss this because this is comes under data modeling part. Now let's see the checkbox data type. How this checkbox data type will look like, now let me explain. Suppose, for example, generally how the checkbox look like, checkbox will be look like this. Checkboxes will look like this. Now when you go to the checkbox, so now sometimes checkbox may be selected, sometimes checkbox may not be selected. If the checkbox is selected, then it is called as checked state. That means checkbox has been selected. So this is called as checked state. If the checkbox is not selected, this is called as unchecked state. Unchecked state. Now, if the checkbox is selected, it returns a value true. If the checkbox is not selected, then it returns a value false. Okay? If the checkbox is selected, it returns a value true, else it returns a value false. That means for checkbox data type will be storing either true or false values. True or false values will be called as what? Boolean values. These are called as Boolean values. It will store only one, either true or false, only one, not both. Because the checkbox may be either selected or unselected over here. So, in order to store the Boolean values, either true or false inside the field, we are using the help of checkbox data type. Okay? Let me give this note points. This data type allows us to store the Boolean values inside the field, which can be either true or false. If the checkbox is selected, it is checked state, which returns a value true. If the checkbox is not selected, then it will be called as unchecked state, which returns a value false. Clear? Now, the properties. First four properties are common. First four properties are common properties. Fifth property is default option. By default, this will be unselected. Whenever we are creating a checkbox data type field, it will be unselected by default. To indicate that if you want to mark that checkbox selected by default, we can select this checkbox. Okay, these are the five properties are available as part of this checkbox data type. Next one, date data type. Now tell me, date data type is allows us to store what? Store what type of data?
Date.
What is
Store the
that?
date.
What information?
It's
Numbers.
numbers.
Now, in this case, let's see. For example, let me go to my Salesforce arc. I'm going to my Salesforce account. Now, for example, we are having account object. Upon creating a new account record, we can able to specify the customer's data. When storing the customer's data, my client asked me to store the birth date of the customer also. Like a birth date over here. To store the birth date, then what we need to do? We need to enter the date value. Okay, date value. So that here we are using the help of data type, which can be used to store the date value. Like for example, I would like to store birth date of a person, or joining date of a person, relieving date of a person, appointment date of a person, visiting date of a person, or product manufacturing date, and the product expiry date. Like that, here I would like to store some date values inside the field. In that case, to store the date values inside the field, we are using the help of data type. But here, you no need to enter the date value manually by your own. Already Salesforce is giving a calendar to you, a pop-up calendar. See, suppose for example, here we have a field called as SLA expiration date. This is the data type field over here, which will be holding a small pop-up calendar. Just we can click on this calendar. This calendar will represent the 200 years calendar. It provides 200 years calendar here. Past 100 years, future 100 years. Now it will be 2026. It will provide the date values from 1926 to 2126. Total 200 years calendar will be getting visible in this place over here. By using this pop-up calendar, we can select maximum of 200 years calendar over here. Let's see. Once you click on this icon, it will show the pop-up calendar. We can choose the date. Now it is providing that years over here, 2126 to 1926 over here. Okay. Now, so in order to select that date value, for example, today is the expiration date. If I'm selecting that corresponding date value will be storing inside this field. Okay. Understand the concept now? To store some date values, we are using the help of data type. Now, this data type is used to store the date value inside the field by selecting from the pop-up calendar. By selecting from the pop-up calendar. Now the property. Here I'm giving them a point. It will represent the 200 years calendar. Now the properties. First four properties are common as usual. And the last property is required checkbox. Sometimes I want to make this data but should be mandatory. Joining date is mandatory. So indicate that field is mandatory, we are having required checkbox. Clear? Next. Next one. Time data type. What do you mean by this a time data type? Time data type allows us to store time values. Sometimes I want to store some time values only here. Like for example, I would like to go for a movie here. So whenever we are planning to go for a movie, then we can go to that any of the application to reserve a movie ticket. There it will ask you to select the show timings. They'll be indicating different timings over here. From the timings, you can choose the best time, okay, based on your availability. So on that timings, you can able to watch that movie as well. Like whenever if you want to consult a doctor, then we can choose an appointment time also here. Okay, like suppose for example, assume that today I want to consult a doctor regarding some health issue. So I would like to go to an application Practo. Okay, Practo application here. Practo is one of the best application so which can be used okay to get the doctor's information nearby your location along with we can able to book the appointments also with the doctor. Now today I would like to consult a doctor here in order to book the appointment. Now I would like to go with the consultants over here. Now select that location here to which city you are associated over here. For example, I'm selecting some Amirpet. Amirpet, Hyderabad. That means Srinivasa Nagar, Amirpet here. Or else simply Amirpet. Now in this Amirpet area, I'm looking for a best doctor here. Is it for dentist you are searching, or gynecologist, general physician, dermatologist, or ENT, or homeopathy, Ayurveda, or what? Now I'm looking for a general physician. It is populating all the general physicians available in the nearest okay hospital doctors. Now these are the various okay nearest doctors are available in this nearby this Amirpet area. Like we are having this in Begumpet, in Banjara Hills. We are having different doctors information is available here. Now it is giving the doctors a picture also and the years of experience and everything. Now suppose for example, I would like to consult this doctor here, some Prashant Chandra. He is having some 18 years of experience over here. Now we can able to view the profile also. We can able to consult the doctor also. Here we can able to see the reviews also and then along with the consultation fee. What will be the consultation fee for this doctor? Now we can see. Here we are having the appointment slots are available. Today, what are all the slots are available? Here we are having the slots. For every 15 minutes, we will be having a slot is available here. Suppose if you're looking for tomorrow, we can go to the tomorrow. These are the slots. I would like to go to it 1 p.m. over here. Then we can specify the mobile number, click on continue, and we can able to make the payment. We can book the appointment with the doctor also. On that day, on that timing, we can go to the hospital to meet the doctor here. So we can able to have the pre-consulting appointments also with the respective doctors over here. So in that case, we are storing only the time values. To store only the time values, we are using the help of time data type. But here, there are two types of time values we are going to store. In some cases, we are using 12 hours format. In some cases, we are using 24 hours format. 12 hours format of date, 24 hours format of date. 12 hours means what? We are giving AM in the PM. Evening 4:30 PM. We are giving AM and PM. Suppose 24 hours means what? Like in 1930. That means what? 7:30 PM. Now we are going to be indicating some 17:45, 5:45 PM. Like that, we're storing some value because when you go to some applications that purely using 24 hours format, like some railway reservation applications, flight reservation applications, hotel management people, they're purely using 24 hours of time format. But upon storing the time values, we can store the time in terms of hours and the minutes. Or else we can store the time in terms of hours, minutes, and seconds. In some cases, we can store hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds also. Depends upon the requirement they would like to store. Now tell me, for 1 second, how many milliseconds are available? How many milliseconds are available for 1 second?
1000.
Hmm. 1000 milliseconds. 1 second is equals to 1000 milliseconds here. Okay. Now, so in this case, whenever if you want to store this kind of time values, we are using the help of this time data type. Clear? Now, this data type allows us to store the time values inside the field either in 12 hours or 24 hours format. We can store the time value in terms of hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds also. Now, the properties. First four properties are common as usual here, and the last property is required checkbox. First four properties are common properties, and the last property is required checkbox. Clear? Next. Next one, date time data type. Now tell me, what did you understood with this name? Date time means what? As of now, we have used a date, which will store only date values. Then we have used time, which will store only time values. But in some cases, there are some scenarios where I want to store both the date and timestamp value within a single field. Within a single column, I want to store both the date and time value also. I don't want to store them in separate columns. I want to store them within a single column. In that case, we can go with the help of date time. Like suppose, for example, when you go to your Salesforce account, open any one of the existing record. For example, when you go to your record, go to the detail page. When you come down to the last, we are having that option created by, last modified by column. Here it is indicating both the date and time also. Okay, both the date and time value also will be visible within a single column itself. So in that case, if you want to show both the date and time stamp value within a single field, we are using the help of date time data type here. Okay. This data type allows us to store both the date and time stamp value within a single field. For example, created by, last modified by, etc. for your reference. Properties. Properties wise, here also same properties, no change at all. We have required checkbox. We have required checkbox. These are the properties are available here. So we are having date time data type, and this date time data type will allows us to store both the date and time stamp value within the single field. Clear? Next. The next one, text encrypted data type. What do you mean by text encrypted one? Encrypting in the sense
Changing the data into
storing of what?
Text.
Not the text format.
Text in encrypted format.
Encrypting in the sense converting. Okay, we can converting the actual content into another format so that other people can't understand this. Other people can't misutilize my data. So we can make our data protected. Because upon storing some data is very, very confidential. Like I'm having my okay, PAN number, my passport number, my Aadhaar card number here, and then my account username also, my password also, my insurance policy number also, my social security number also. This kind of content is very, very confidential, so I don't want to disclose to the people directly. Name I can disclose. My company name I can show. My age I can show that. My email ID I can show, but I don't want to show this bank account number, credit card number, PIN numbers, passwords. This kind of data is very, very confidential. So I want to store this data inside the table in an encrypted format. Encrypted format means what? Whatever the password that I'm going to enter or whatever the PIN number I'm going to enter, it should not store in the actual format. It should convert into a different format which can be understandable with other people. So in that case, we are using the help of text encrypted format. Okay, now let's suppose, for example, assume that I'm giving that password. Whatever the password that I'm going to enter, that will be representing all in star formats. Whatever the bank account, the PIN number that I'm going to enter, it will show like this. And then whatever the credit card number I am going to enter, it will show like this. Last four digits will be visible in actual format. The starting four digits will not be visible in this format here. And then we are having Aadhaar card number. Now, my bank account number. I'm representing this. Like that here, there is some content which is very, very confidential. So I would like to make sure that that content should not be disclosing to the other people here. So the people can't misutilize my content over here. So now in this case, I would like to, okay, I would like to make the content to be protected from the unauthorized people. So please convert this content into another format over here. Okay, now let's see. In this case, whenever if you want to store this kind of content, then we can go with the text encrypted data type. Then what properties are available? Let's see. This data type allows us to store the encrypted content of the customer or product. That is to store the confidential data of the customer. Confidential data of the customer. For example, username, password, PIN number, bank account number, credit card number, etc. This kind of data here. Now, the properties. So the first four properties are common as usual. First four properties are common, and the next property is required checkbox. That means to mark that field mandatory, we are using required checkbox. Next one. Now here we are going to be indicating. So now masked type. That means what type of masking you would like to apply. See, when you observe this one, if it is a password, all the characters will be represented in masked format. That means encrypted format. When you go to the credit card number, Aadhaar card number, bank account number, now it is going to be representing last four digits are visible, starting digits are in invisible format. So that means masked format here. So then what kind of masking you would like to apply, we can specify. Here we can specify password, credit card number, like that. You will be having this option. In the next one, masked character. That means what character you would like to use to apply the masking here. But here, when you observe this one, all are stars. Here, cross symbols over here. Then what type of character you would like to use to apply the marking? We can specify. We can specify star or we can specify cross also. Okay. So these are the various properties that we have as part of this text encrypted data type. Clear? Next one. Next one, geolocation. Geolocation data type is for what? What type of data it allows us to store? Anyone can suggest me. That means how?
Particular location it will store. Geographical
Geolocation.
location. Yeah.
Geographical coordinates of a particular location. Like nowadays here, how we are locating our address based on latitude and longitude values by using Google Maps. So Google Map is going to be locating a particular address with the help of the coordinates of that particular area here. So in that case, to store that latitude and the longitude values inside the field, we are using the help of geolocation data type. So geolocation data type will allows us to store the geographical coordinates of a particular area, including the latitude value and longitude value. So we can pass this value to the Google Map. So Google Map will be locating the address. From there, we can find out the shortest path and we can reach to the destination also depends upon the requirement. Okay. Now let's see. This data type allows us to store the geographical coordinates a particular area, that is, it can store both latitude and longitude values. Okay, now the properties. First four properties are common. Fifth property is required checkbox. These are the five properties are available as part of this geolocation data type. Clear? Now, next one, URL. URL data type means what? Hyperlinks, okay, right? Website names, path of a web application also, path of the web service also we can use. Like suppose for example, I'm having a Salesforce arc. In my Salesforce arc, I'm having the customers, okay, website name. See, when I go to my customer's website name here I'm giving the website name as, for example, ICICIbank.com. I'm storing the customer data here. Then once I save the data, it will be showing like as a hyperlink. When I click on this hyperlink, directly it will jump into the website automatically by default by Salesforce. You no need to copy the website name, go to the browser, paste the website name, press enter, nothing. Just we can able to save the content that will show like as a hyperlink. Upon click on the hyperlink, directly it will jump into the website in a separated tab automatically by Salesforce. So if you want to store this kind of website names or a part of a web application or part of a web service, then we can go with the help of this data type called as URL data type. Okay, now this data type is used to store the website names, comma, path of a web application, comma, path of a web service inside the field. It will represent the content in the form of hyperlinks. Upon click on the hyperlink, it will redirect the user to the specified website name. The specified website properties. First four properties are common, and the last property is required checkbox. Last property is required checkbox. Clear? Understood the concept now till now? Next. Next one, we have few more data types. Tomorrow we'll continue with this one. Tomorrow we'll explain the remaining data types, and then we'll see how can we create the fields inside the object. Then I will show you the practical example, and I will give the assignment also to you on this part. Okay. So please go through this one. Properties are very, very important here. Okay. What kind of data that each data type is supporting to store, that is most important. Please remember this. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue with the data types, and then we will see practical examples of creating custom fields. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your time.